I want to start with a story. This is Rohan. Rohan has diabetes. He's had type 2 diabetes for the last 10 years. So just last week, actually, he visited my dad, who's a diabetes doctor. And my dad saw his HbA1c levels, urine tests, everything was done. He told Rohan, listen, you may have diabetic retinopathy because you've had type 2 diabetes for 10 years. Please go get your eyes checked by an ophthalmologist. Rohan, of course, is a very good patient. He told my dad, I'm going to go right away, doctor. Do you guys think he actually went? No, he did not. Rohan actually thought to himself, Are yaar, I have to make a second appointment, I have to travel for 2 hours in Bangalore traffic, and then after that they're going to dilate my eye. Anyway, this diabetes doctor does the blood test and the urine test. Why can't the same physician do the eye test also? That's exactly what Rohan thought. And Rohan is like 70% of all people with diabetes. And the unfortunate truth is, he's at risk of going blind. Diabetic retinopathy, as you all know, is a complication of diabetes that can cause blindness. 33% of all people with diabetes have some form of diabetic retinopathy. And over 7 million people in India alone have suffered vision loss because of diabetic retinopathy. And the catch is, it's completely preventable if it's detected early. But let's look at the stakes here. There are 5,000 retina specialists in all of India who can detect diabetic retinopathy today. There are 120,000 doctors treating diabetes. Again, there are 5,000 of them. There are 120,000 of you. Where do you think effective screening can actually take place? For me, the stakes are very clear. If the physician does not screen for DR, the patient will go blind. And that's not all. If the physician does not screen for DR, he actually misses out on a lot of income. And again, that's not all. If the physician does not screen for DR, the patient will go to someone else who does. Let's go back to the problem for 1 second. 70% of people with diabetes do not go to an ophthalmologist when referred. Hiring an ophthalmologist in-house in your own practice is very expensive. And not to mention, a lot of them just want to do cataract. They're not interested in this. And screening by itself is actually very difficult. Ophthalmoscopes, which are actually very common, are very difficult to use. They have a very long training period, 3 to 4 months, and it's quite easy to make mistakes. And they require dilatation. Traditional fundus cameras are big, they're bulky, and they're very, very expensive. And software always requires an internet connection, which is bad for data privacy. It always requires an ophthalmologist on the other end to make a telediagnosis, and it's very time consuming. Getting a report can take 1 to 2 days. The current ways to detect diabetic retinopathy are perfectly suited for a world that does not exist. So, we went ahead and we spoke to about 100+ doctors and 100+ patients. And what we realized was, all doctors wanted was a simple, non-cumbersome solution. All patients wanted was a simple, non-cumbersome solution, one that makes everyone's lives easier, not harder, and something that is not time-consuming at all. What they wanted was an ECG machine for the eye. So, I would like to present the Medios fundus on phone camera. It is the world's first smartphone-based fundus camera. It is lightweight and is portable. It can be used in a handheld mode, as seen here, and in a desktop mode, as seen here. It is completely non-mydriatic. No dilatation is required. The quality is on par with the best international fundus cameras available today. And it can be used by anyone. A diabetes doctor, a general practitioner, a nurse, a lab technician, anyone can use it. And it only takes 10 to 15 minutes to learn. And it is completely affordable. The price of the camera is among the lowest in the market today. And that's not all. That's just one half of the solution. This is the Medios AI. The Medios AI uses artificial intelligence to automatically grade a fundus photograph and detect diabetic retinopathy in a retinal image. It is completely offline. In fact, it is the world's first offline-based AI that runs on a smartphone device. No human grading is actually required. The technology uses something known as deep learning to automatically detect exudates, microaneurysms, cotton wool spots, and other lesions in a fundus photograph, and then detects diabetic retinopathy. It also actually picks up the quality of the image and can tell you if an image quality is poor for grading or if it's acceptable for grading. It also detects macular edema. Soon, it will also be able to grade the severity of diabetic retinopathy in the patient. So, why should you trust us? Well, these are some of the happy customers of the Remedio fundus on phone camera, which has been in the market for over 2 years. And that's not all. On a recent study, actually 2 years ago, on a study done 2 years ago, the sensitivity of the camera was shown to be 93%, and the specificity was 98.4%, done at Dr. Mohan Specialty Center in Chennai. If that's not all, the camera is actually US FDA approved and CE marked. Let's get to the AI. We did a study on 2,000 mydriatic images taken from the COVA mydriatic fundus camera, and the AI had a sensitivity of 99% and a specificity of 92% in detecting diabetic retinopathy. With the Remedio camera, a recent study showed a sensitivity of 96.7% and a specificity of 89.5% for referable diabetic retinopathy. This was also a study done with 301 patients at Dr. Mohan Center and has been recently accepted for a paper in a conference organized by SNEC, the Singapore National Eye Center, to be presented in July. The AI has actually been built with the support of some of the biggest doctors in the entire country, whose guidance and help has actually made a technology as cutting edge a reality in today's clinical practice. And this is what they've had to say. We've also been backed by Entrepreneur First, a prominent startup accelerator in Singapore, as well as the Singapore government. But enough about us. Let's look at what this means to you. For the average physician, it means a revenue increase of 30,000 rupees more every month. However, we've seen that it can be as high as 75,000 rupees more every month if the diabetologist takes up diabetic retinopathy screening at their own practice. That's not all. There will be 70% less blindness due to DR being picked up very early on. And again, that's not all. Your patients are going to be much, much happier, and that's going to mean more footfall for your own practice. They're going to come back more regularly. They're going to refer their friends. They like the fact that a physician will provide comprehensive care. The camera is already ready today and is available for purchase. The AI is also available today for a trial basis. So if you're interested, it will come with the camera. The current ways to detect diabetic retinopathy are perfectly suited for a world that does not exist. But for today's world, there is always Medios. Thank you.